You guys cannot blame me. You can blame Mr. Voch Lombardi. He wasn't too late, but he was about 2 minutes late. But guys, he's working for the volume. He's doing things on Twitter. He's doing film breakdowns. He's on Bleacher Report. I mean, guys, if we can get 5 minutes of his time, we're blessed. Voch, how you doing, sir?
Man, appreciate you, Footsie King, man. About to just do some regular work, man. There you go. About to take this link, push that out to social medias, man. Fill this thing up a little bit, man. So it's all good, man. Appreciate you, man. Good to be here.
Look how your boy just throw me alley oops, man. I mean, it's just little old fuss, and then just this guy Voch is just a goat that he is.
Hey, man, we working, man. You know what I'm saying? You one of my trusted guys, man. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't do this with everybody. You know what I mean?
Hey, and it's crazy because we really got years in this Voch. So we're gonna jump right into it. Before we get to breaking down this Jets defense, Voch,
Yes, sir.
high level, how do you feel about this team after the Giants game? Um, I know we're not too high because we know when it matters, but I tell people this all the time. If you go out there and play like trash, that's who you are too. If you go out
Oh,
there and play winning football, that's who you are. So, Voch, you don't have to get too deep into the Giants game because I think we've all covered that ad nauseum.
yeah.
How do you we haven't talked about it on this channel. So, how do you feel as a team where the Cowboys are right now?
Hey, man. You know, I'm not one to really want national media respect.
Right,
I don't really care for it because they get a little picky about how they ration it out.
right,
But if like Cowboys have to be amazing for national media to be like, all right, y'all good. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And national media has been saying, hey, the Cowboys got the best defense in football. Now we've been saying this since the offseason.
right.
But we really feel like there's not a team on this planet or offense on this planet that can line up versus our defense and like really give us a hard time. Like they can put up a good fight. We got the Dolphins coming up, the Eagles, but y'all know how I feel about the Eagles. San Fran is a team that you got to respect, but it's not a team that I don't think that my defense can overcome, or at least enough to keep my offense in the game. So I feel great about all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and teams. Foots, but teams and defense showed out in this rainy game. And
Yeah,
and I like what Mike McCarthy says that, hey man, it's gonna rain, so we went to the game plan, to the rain game plan. There's no need for Dak Prescott to go out there and throw the ball 40 times a game in the rain. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But Tuesday, next Sunday is going to be a big test for us, and playing inside. The only time where the elements is going to play a part is if they don't close the blinds and the sun get in our eyes. You already know they're going to do that. So I'm ready to see what our offense looks like versus this Jets defense. I got all the confidence in the world in our defense. If our offense can come out here and put hands on Jets defense, then I don't think there's a team that can really put hands on us for real, for real. Close games, but ain't nobody finna put hands on us for.
I think that what you said was spot on. I loved your point about Mike McCarthy going into the game plan for the rain. I
Mm-hmm.
think in regimes past, we might have seen the Cowboys kind of force things.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy said no. And I think that's some of the change that you look for when you talk about Mike McCarthy calling plays versus others calling plays.
Yep.
And I think that's spot on, Vach. I think that, people, and this isn't the offensive show, but I think that people have gotten so like picky and they want things to be so cute and they want 40 points offensively and they want Dak for numbers on fantasy. And guys, that just isn't football.
Yep.
Like we said this all off season, national media was late. Now they're catching up, Vach. But the truth of the matter is this: the Dallas Cowboys are going to be ran through their defense. That's the best position group on the field. And that's not a bad thing when you have a top 3 defense in the NFL,
Sure.
top 5, bar none. So to me, Vach, I think that you're spot on with that. And we don't have to stay there too long because the truth is the Cowboys moved on from it. And I think that's what's gonna I want to see how they bounce back and
Yeah.
play a game where now you are playing a Zach Wilson who is quote unquote not as good as Aaron Rodgers, but do you come out flat or do you come out and smell blood? I think the type of players that they have and the way that they built their team, I think that they do come out and turn up. So I'm
It depends on your
extremely
leadership,
excited.
man. It
It
depends on
depends
your
on your
leadership.
leadership.
4, 11, and 90 not gonna let them dudes come out flat. Like those are the most intense dudes on this team, like leadership wise. And number one, of course, J. Ron Curse. He's number one now. Those dudes not gonna let these dudes come out flat, man. And every game's important. Every
Yeah.
game's important. And I think the Cowboys understand the value of having the number one seed. They played for the number one seed up until week 16 last year. Eagles was dealing with Gardner Minshew or whatever, but the Cowboys were in that mixed foots, and they had to travel the first game. Then they had to play three more games, right? I think the Cowboys as a team has understanding now that if they can get that first week off,
Yeah.
rest up, have a home game right after that, and then after that you go straight to the conference championship game. I think they understand that, and all these games are important right now. These games early are the ones that come back and bite you for real, not the ones at the end. So I think they'll be motivated.
I think for sure they'll be motivated. So before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, the Real Insurance Lady. Listen, you can get all your health insurance needs. They're right there based in Houston, Texas. Um, Anything that you need for your family's health insurance issues, you can get it taken care of, and they can do it in under 7 minutes. And it's nothing. It costs nothing per month. It's affordable. It's the Affordable Care Act legislation, basically Obamacare. You guys tap in with them. All the information will be in the description box. Again, you guys navigate the website. It's really, really cool. The Real Insurance Lady. Voch, let's get to what everybody wants to talk about. Everybody, the hot topic on this game is the Jets defense.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you've probably been asked this a bunch of times, but what we're going to do today, Voch, I want to talk about every level of this Jets defense. I have my thoughts, but I want to get Voch Lombardi's thoughts. I know that you covered Quentin Williams coming out. We both covered that draft. Just that Jets D line. Who scares you the most? I mean, they have some guys, right?
Yeah.
Franklin Myers is a player. To me, it's Quentin Williams. I like Jermaine Johnson. Covered him as well coming out from Florida State. I think he's a guy that is turning into a nice piece, but I'm not ready to say that he can take over a game. But I want to 100% say that Quentin Williams is a guy that can take over a game. So, Voch, who to you on that Jets D line scares you?
You mentioned Franklin Myers. He got
Yeah.
three first names. Will McDonald is a guy, but and it's context, right? Is do you have good ends versus do you got like stud ends, right? And then how
Right.
many of them you got? I think the Jets have a lot of good ends, a lot of startable ends.
Mm-hmm.
Huff can go
Yeah.
when Jermaine comes off the field. McDonald can go when he comes off the field. Franklin Myers can go when they're on the field. We just add another guy to this, Carl Lawson. For us, we draft guy. He was coming out of Auburn.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh had a press conference today for us, and they said, I probably got it. Let's see.
About it. Is he going to play on Sunday?
Yeah,
For sure. Anticipating him being up this week, with it being a short week, the time he had off with regard to dealing with the back injury, I felt like our Friday practice was a little on the high side with the physicality and all that stuff, and I just didn't think it'd be a good idea to practice him, play a game, short week, play another game with the amount of time he had off. So this would be week one for him.
Carl Lawson was out the entire offseason with a back injury.
Yep.
Robert Saleh just said last week's practice was physical than a mug. They was getting ready for the Bills. So they didn't want to risk getting him hurt, but Lawson should be ready to go this week. So just add another pass rusher to that mix for the King. I mean, and on the inside, you got Quentin Williams and Al Woods. Those are guys that are blockable, but they're there. And like Solomon Thomas is like a deep backup or something like that. I think all these dudes are blockable. And I would be really comfortable. I would be incredibly comfortable if Tyler Smith was playing.
Yeah.
If Tyler was playing, I ain't got to worry in the world because I trust my guys also. Because in real life, Jermaine Johnson on the field, if he comes off the field and Carl Lawson comes on the field, that's the same threat you got. It ain't like it's an extra threat that comes on the field or anything. You know what I'm saying? Correct. So you just got to deal with the guys that's out there. The Jets don't blitz a whole bunch. They blitz here and there. You know what I'm saying? They can crowd the line of scrimmage and make you think they're bringing 7 people, but they'll only really rush 4 or 5. And they'll just drop the rest of them dudes back in coverage, back in zone coverage. And Dak Prescott eats up zone coverage for breakfast. So if you could block them dudes up front, however 4 or 5 many guys that they're bringing, if you can block them dudes up front, then you should be good to go. And I trust Terrence. I trust Zach. Biotish being helped by anybody is much better than him by himself. Chuma Edoga is the real life question. If Tyler is there, I feel good about Tyler versus anybody in that interior. If not, then we're gonna have to hide Chuma Dog again. And Tyron Smith is 9 times out of 10 gonna be going against an athlete. So we'll see how that goes also. But if we can block him, we can throw against him.
Yeah, and hopefully Tyler Smith does play. I haven't heard any news. Maybe you have, Voch, but you really would like to see your O-line at full strength. I thought Tyron Smith played really well last week. One of the things, Voch, that I came away watching film, and the Bills to me don't have an identity. Like when I watch Ken Dorsey, I'm watching a coach who they're still trying to find their way. You look at Josh Allen, they love it when he's playing backyard football, but some of that can get you in trouble. 5 sacks last week. I don't know if that was the Jets' edges are that good or if it's the Bills literally had no plan. We'll see as it continues to go on. Like I like their running game, but they're not committed to running the ball. And so that was some of that issue. And then in their passing game, it's just kind of sporadic. Like it's really hit or miss. And I think that the Jets, what they do is very different from like Wink Martindale. He's coming after you. Like that's what he's going to do. You saw Dak with that little pick play to CD. Easy money.
Mm-hmm.
With the Jets, I think solid coming from the San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
What they do, and they still do a lot of that type of stuff, is they're gonna play their 4. They're gonna play with 4 down linemen, and they are going to let those guys win, and they're gonna keep everything on the back end in front of them. And I think that Dallas has to be smart. I think that they have to pick their shots. Voch, just real quick. How would you attack them in the run game? We're talking front 4 now.
We was talking about this earlier on the volume. Their edge guys line up really wide. You know,
they're like in a wide 9.
Yeah. And I would imagine that they're trying to take advantage of some type of pass rush situation, or they're like playing like a pinch contain type situation where they're trying to funnel guys inside where Quentin and the boys are.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I told this to Will still earlier. I remember my first playoff game playing in. We played against a team with a wide 9, and my play call at the time, and my coach Woodard or whatever, he just told me like, hey, if they're gonna line up that wide outside, we're just gonna run counter at them,
Mm-hmm.
and
hit it
counter if you like if you lined up tight, counter's gonna be tight.
Mm-hmm.
But if you lined up wide, then counter automatically is gonna be wide. You're not going to be able to squeeze enough to close that space when my kick block comes over there to hit you. So if you're going to be that wide, stay that wide. And that's just up to Mosley and them to come up and hit. But that's what Terrence Steele or Lipke or whatever tight end is going to be, like their job to do cleanup blocks or whatever. But if you're going to be lined up that wide and like run game wise, that's how I'm going to deal with you. And just another lesson I've learned from play callers over the years, if you don't want to block somebody, read them. So the Cowboys have been doing a bunch of RPO, read option type of
Love
things.
that play that they designed in the red zone with Dak. That was a nice wrinkle. Put that out there on film. Yep.
100%, Mr. Wolf. So if you don't want to block Carl Lawson, read them. You don't want to block Jermaine Johnson, read them. You know what I'm saying? And make them a part of that run plan or whatever. But I don't think it's going to be terribly hard to run against because they're only going to bring 4 and drop everybody else. So if they're going to run 4 and drop everybody else, at most they may have like 6 guys that they may commit to the run. And that's why it's important for Tyler to come back and play. If they're going to try to stop the run with 4 or 5 guys,
they can't stop us. Yeah.
Then that means your interior gotta make sure that their D tackles are sewed up. And if that's the case, I feel good about my guards if Tyler Smith is playing. If not, we'll see.
Because you have one who's obviously a Hall of Famer, so you're fine with Zach. And I love when Dallas runs those duo gap schemes when they're double teaming. Like if him and Terrence can get that 3 technique, they're going to move that 3 technique, and you can hit it right underneath them, like you said. You can wrap around B+1 in the run game. That's kind of the stuff that I like to run even with my youth. So I think that is kind of, and Dallas ran some of that stuff even on Sunday night against the Giants, who to me. I don't think that their fronts are that far off. I think
Cowboys?
Dexter Lawrence,
Giants.
The Giants, and they're kind of built the same way. Dexter Lawrence, and I would say Quentin is a hair better than Dexter Lawrence, but it's close. I like Tibbs. I like their edges. I think that the Giants, I think the Jets are probably a little bit deeper.
Sure. Yeah.
But
just got
deeper.
Just got depth. Like
they're a little deeper.
Like once Aziz come off the ball, like once he come out the game, it's like, all right, Aziz gone. I'm gonna just deal with whoever this is. But once Lawson comes out, Jermaine comes out, Huff goes in, or McDonald goes in. If
Thomas,
Jim John first names come out. You know what I'm saying?
Your
So
boy Will McDonald, I think they'll give him some run. Yeah, so they got guys, and I mean, it'll be. I'm glad we're catching him early because it'll be scary when he comes into his own. Okay, Vosh, let's talk about the second level of this defense. One of the things that I noticed was they play their linebackers all game. C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams are going to play football. It's not like the Cowboys where we play with 5-6 safeties and we're doing different things personnel wise. Those guys are playing football. Again, the San Fran tree, the coaching tree with Fred Warner and what's my guy's name that plays besides Fred Warner? But the point is they play football. Man, what is his name?
Greenlaw,
He's
Drake Greenlaw.
Greenlaw. Yeah, Drake. He's just as good. I mean, he's a dog. So they're gonna play football that way. Voch, I also didn't think that the Bills attacked those guys enough with play action or with their tight ends. To you, Voch, how do you want to attack those backers? What up, 2I?
I think this is going to be a good day for the auxiliary pass catchers. You know, so if you got a plan for like Hunter Lipke or something, perfect. Throw the ball to him. Which one of them linebackers is going to be able to run with Tony Pollard out the backfield? Cool. Kevontae Turpin is your goal line back now. Fine.
Love that wrinkle.
I think this is a big game for the tight ends to kind of come in and you know prove themselves as pass catchers. I think they did a pretty good job blocking last week. I think Ferguson's going to be fine because he doesn't have a history of dropping the football. Hendershot kind of has a history of dropping the football, and there's only so long the undrafted dude can keep the second round pick off the field. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, but I think you can win with the receivers, but you can definitely do some damage with fullback, running backs, tight ends in this game. Those guys, they're readers. They read really well. They got the mental processing game side. But CJ Mosley don't want to run with Tony Pollard for real. He don't want to run with him for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I would definitely take advantage of that for sure.
Yeah, we got 2I in the building. 2I, thank you for all you do. Feel free to chime in on anything. She said she talked to Terrence Steele about some of that stuff. 2I, also, if you know anything about the Cook situation, I think it's a rest day. I think Tyron Smith showing up on the injury report is a rest day. I know that Mike McCarthy, being the Pittsburgh guy that he is, I think he's just playing it as, we'll see if they practice. Mike knows what he's doing. I think it's a rest day for Cooks. I think that he'll be out there. Okay, this is the group that I want to talk about, and it's that secondary, Voch, because I personally like that secondary, but I think they can be had in certain ways. And breakers early in that game, Diggs was kind of breaking in on Sauce. I love Sauce Gardner, but I think that he's been labeled as a top 5 corner just a tad bit early. He's very grabby.
Sure.
He's physical. He's a good player. Reminds me of a young Diggs, probably a little bit better twitch than Diggs, but he's really grabby. And then you talk about Whitehead. Jordan Whitehead had 3 picks. I don't think that he's that good at safety. I think that Josh Allen
kept throwing it to him. Foots, the first thing they teach you in cover school, Footsy King, you can't throw the ball deep versus cover 2 and 4. You can't
never.
You can't do
it. They're back there. I mean, he's and I think that's some of that. You know, again, the Bills and Ken Dorsey. Somebody over there has to reel him in and say, "Dog, you got to start playing actual football. This is not football. 3 turnovers. That's not it. Like you just he has a strong arm, but the problem is you're just doing stupid. You're doing stupid stuff. So
shit and stuff.
Nah. So and then DJ Reed is a good player, physical player, from Seattle. So, Voch, what are your thoughts on attacking the secondary? I want to let you go, and then I'll give my thoughts.
Well, they're gonna play a whole bunch of zone. I mean, they've done some many things before. Sauce not gonna be a travel man guy. He gonna just stay on his side. So moving CD around would benefit you. But dog, man, if y'all gonna go out and play zone, that's what Dak. I mean, that's what Dak do.
Yeah, bro.
That's what Dak do, man. You know what I'm saying? So if we can block it up front, and I think we'll be able to block it up front. I don't care. Because look, the Eagles did that same thing where they'll rush 4 and 3 to 4 or whatever guys, and they'll try to drop that 7-8 man coverage. They'll just drop it and play deep, and just make us dink and dunk. Cool. Perfect. We'll rack up these 40 points on you. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's just reading coverages, I think Dak is fine with that. And look, these are some good corners because they play fast, but it ain't like these dudes is like Dane Diggs and Gilmore. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'm interested to know what CD looks like versus Sauce just for the bragging rights on the internet, but I'm also a big fan of Find the Scrub, and they got a cat in the nickel, Carter.
Michael Carter.
Um,
I just tweeted that.
yeah, man,
Yep.
Carter not finna deal with Lamb on that level. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I think this is a good game for Brandon Cooks. I think once you get them out of their comfort zone and they do start to play a little bit of man, I think deep ball Brandon Cooks turns into a dude. But while they're playing zone and while they're playing, deep zone and trying to throw you off in that way, route running Brandon Cooks is going to be super important. And that dude getting to a spot and Dak finding them in that spot and throwing with anticipation and things like that. Dak loves these route runner guys. That's where they're supposed to be at. Cooper was one of those guys. That's why they hit it off so quick. I think Brandon Cooks is also one of those guys that's in the right place at the right time guy. I think everything's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, one of the things that I said, and it was, I really want to see CeeDee Lamb versus Sauce Gardner, but football tells me that until they make a decision, I'm going to make sure. Okay, I'm going to make sure that Michael Carter has to guard him.
Yeah.
And I think that was the best thing of CeeDee Lamb learning the slot. Now, you can say what you want, and teams can say what they want, and Twitter can say what they want. CeeDee Lamb in the slot is a mismatch for a lot of guys because he's fast and he's big.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not a midget in there, and so he's also really good after the catch. I love your point about Brandon Cooks finding grass. I think that's where when we start getting the play action game going, because Dallas is going to come out and run the ball. They're going to design runs. When we start getting the play action game going, he's running those deep comebacks, those digs, all that type of stuff coming across Dak's face. I think that's where we really ding them. One of the things that I want to see is seam shots.
Sure.
Seam shots.
But that's part of like fighting the zone. Like verticals are cover 3 beaters. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like you could like just get behind the linebacker and break in up them seam. Like that's beating cover 3. It's easy peasy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, run up the seam. And we've been waiting on Jake Ferguson to kind of get
Be
going.
that. Yeah.
Man, Fuster King, did you see the it was the Hendershot drop, but it was a fake bubble.
That was a good ball.
It was a fake bubble, and that's basically what fucking Hendershot was running, man. And Dak threw it to the back shoulder to get it away from the safety, man. Hendershot just dropped that.
He smoked that joint, bro. And I was like, good
Sure.
play design.
Yeah.
Good situation. The defense forgot about Hendershot. He gets a step, smokes it.
I think it's going to be so many opportunities for our tight ends moving forward when it's not wet outside and Dak actually gets to get the offense going and we get into a rhythm. Man, the offense only had one drive in the first quarter, something like that. Man, them dudes couldn't get a rhythm off that. I'll take it because defense and kicking teams went crazy. But I want to see what this offense looks like on a rhythm, is dry, and they get to really run their offense. So I'm going to be curious.
Yeah, you definitely want to see the possessions increase. And one thing I'll say about any defense, that's any defense. Offenses have gotten so creative nowadays that if the Jets aren't getting points and they're getting 3 and outs,
sure,
it's going to be hard for that Jets defense to continue to hold pat. So that's something that I think that I want fans to watch. Dallas may get stopped early and maybe 3 early, but again, I love my defense versus Aaron Rodgers, to be honest with you. If you watched even any, and I said this, if you watched any of Hard Knocks, if you watched those first 2 plays that Aaron Rodgers was in there, that Jets whole line isn't good. And I know we're not talking our defense, but it and that left tackle, oh my God.
Look, this is the funny part. Dwayne Brown, the left tackle, and Mekhi Becton, the right tackle. They both terrible, but they're on the injury report. I kind of don't want to play against the backup tackles. I want to play them because I know how bad Dwayne Brown is. I don't want to see Michael Parsons can get 5 sacks tomorrow on damn Dwayne Brown. He's so terrible.
Give me your Dwayne, because I saw one set. I'm like, oh my God, his feet suck. And then the play that Aaron Rodgers got hurt, you never want to see anybody get hurt, first and foremost. But the play that Aaron Rodgers got hurt, I don't know first of all, I don't know what Hackett. I'm telling you, this isn't a shot at Hackett, but I don't know. His play design was kind of goofier because I'm like, okay, was it quick game? You had the left tackle diving at the end's legs. Was it supposed to be some type of fake there that Aaron Rodgers was the check? What was it? But he just the DN just literally just runs around him, and then that's how that obviously that sack happened. Right. What are your, like, I know this isn't, we're talking that defense, but what are your thoughts on that O-line, Voch? Because you are the O-line guru.
The Jets O-line,
Yeah.
Dwayne Brown is terrible.
He's
Beck-
trash. Dom DeMarco, he's trash.
I gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dom
There you
DeMarco.
go. Becton has very slow feet, and I don't know if it's because he wasn't always slow foot guy at he was Louisville.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's just being a little lazy right now. I don't know, but I don't like it. But you can run right past him. He's very slow footed right now.
Right.
Dwayne Brown's just terrible. I don't think he's being lazy or slow footed. But they got old Broncos Conor McGovern playing center.
Yeah.
He's fine, but he, line up against Osa, that's not going to mean very much for you. But Elijah Vera Tucker, was the king. We're draft guy when he was coming out of USC. I thought he'd be a good tackle for you. They'd be better off putting him at tackle than just playing the right guard right now.
They got him at guard, yeah.
Yeah, them boys terrible at guard. But and Laken Tomlinson, who's just been a guy that's been floating around left guard. He's just been floating around in general. He ain't doing very much neither. But last week you got your wins versus the right side. So when I always say play find the scrub offensive line, you got to find two of them, right? You can get your wins versus anybody else, but you got to find two of them. And the whole right side, it was Glowinski and Neal. That was the scrubs that we had to find. This week is these two outside tackles, and you can beat up on.
I love that find the scrub.
It's fantastic. You can beat up on
that hashtag going find the scrub.
Find the scrub chat. You can beat up on Thomason if you want to, but your two scrubs this week, that's your left tackle and your right tackle. You're gonna beat the hell out of them.
Okay, so Voch, and I like what you're talking about. So Voch, if there's one thing that the Cowboys can't do against this Jet defense, I just want you to give me your thoughts on that. I want to take two questions, and then I want you to get your rest, bro, because you are the hardest working man. I work hard. You work extremely hard. Voch, what is the one thing that this Cowboys offense cannot do? Absolutely cannot do.
Just don't
this Jets defense.
Just don't turn the ball over. Just don't try to do too much like Josh Allen did. If Josh Allen simply lived to fight another day, he'd have been all right.
And they win that game, honestly.
Yeah. When you turn the ball over and you end up at the 50-yard line and they can drive and get field goals out of you, that's points that they ain't even got to have.
Look at Find a Scrub going viral, baby. Quit playing so much.
You can if you're in a bad spot, dog, just punt and play defense, man. Just punt and play defense. Zach Wilson will throw it right back to you. You know what I'm saying? So just don't play hero ball. Just don't do too much. Just don't turn the football over. You'll be all right.
Let me get about 3 questions in. Chat box go.
Please, what y'all got, chat?
Yeah, chat box go. I think, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, Voch. I just don't like, and I'm gonna say this. And I thought Patrick Seawalker, or no Seawalker, I think he did a great job saying it. Like, listen, when I was listening to Cowboys Break today, I thought it was awesome. Guys, miss me with the nervous energy. If y'all got nervous energy, this ain't the channel for you. We giving teams respect and all that, and that's cool. Mm-hmm. As you can hear, and the sounds of the sideline,
in real life,
our dogs don't care about none of that.
In real life, we gonna beat the shit out of the Jets. In real
life, miss me. Like, that was one of the things. It was like, oh man, this Jets defense is so good. Miss me. The offense is gonna be fine. Miss me. Okay, here we go. Y'all think Brandon Cooks plays Sunday? Yes, Redmond Lions. I do think that he plays Sunday. I'm not worried at all. Any more questions? I do think that he plays Sunday.
Aisha in the chat say he all right. They're just being careful with him. So cool.
Yeah, that's all right.
Plus, like, you know, like if it was something bad, like, we'd have known Tuesday. we'd have known expeditiously. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you know, he all right. He finished the game, whatever. He's good to go.
Tyler Smith, good to go. Is Tyler Smith good to go? I think
Tyler might be closer. I don't know. I think Coach was talking about Chuma Doga, but we know that Mike McCarthy a liar, so I'm not listening to Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, he ain't gonna Jason Garrett you. He's a poker player, so he's gonna keep his poker play face on. Any more questions, guys? We got 380 people, mate. Y'all might as well go ahead and pound the like button. What's up, JC Cowboys Network?
380 people.
Yeah, man. We just like kind of got deep in here. I ain't gonna hold you. Any more questions, guys, before we go? Because this was a quick hitter, but I want to get this done because it just seems like everybody's so scared of Jets defense, and Voch just kind of gave you guys answers, so you guys can go tell your friends why we're gonna beat the hell out the Jets. I'm just saying. Voch Lombardi. I guess we kind of may have answered all of these questions. Voch. Trade him for first. No.
Just because we blew out the Giants, don't drink the Kool-Aid. If what your defense did last Sunday doesn't make you confident, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah, that's been my theme on Twitter. This is my theme. Period. I'm just the nervous energy. I'm cool, Voch. Like people got to respect us, and this is one thing that I can honestly say that you guys in this chat box. We don't need to listen to mainstream media. We need to listen to Voch, Foot, Sky, the people. I mean, everybody, Law, the guys, right? You need to really listen to them because they're giving you the truth. Everybody's this Cowboys defense. Well, we were here when it was being built. We were here when we took Marquise Bell last year, undrafted free agent. We were here, when Y.A. Thomas was on a practice squad, wasn't he, Voch?
Yep.
Last year. So I mean, we've been here, right? So I'm just saying, you're getting the information from the right people. Does 88 have a good game? I think 88 does have a good game. Voch, let them know where they can find you, man. You need to get your rest because we need you back tomorrow. I know you're going live and doing film and doing all that good stuff on Patreon. So where can they find you at, bro?
VOCHLONBARDI everywhere. Hey, y'all, please follow Footsie King, man. Hit the sub button. He does fantastic work. I don't just show it for anybody, man. Please follow Footsie King and let's have a good game Sunday. And we'll see y'all on that post game show.
Hey, post game, I'll be calling in with Voch after we get this big dub. It's your boy Footsie as always. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Peace. Voch, can I get a drop real quick? Can I get a Dom DeMarco? Voch producing, y'all.
Did you hear what I said? It's false. No way. Not this time.
That's what swimming his ass over there.
We lit. Peace, y'all.